What's up, guys? It's Tello here. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. You know, the past couple days, we've been having insane growth on the streaming side of Twitch, so thank you to all the people who come to the Twitch, selfish plug, hello J Tello, you know the damn deal. Shout out to the club and the Hydration Nation. But your boy has really been privileged with the opportunity and the blessing to chase our very first legendary ever, that being the Ashbringer. And, there's always been weapons in the past that completely avoided me. I've always had the materials for the Hand of Rag, but unfortunately the eye never dropped. And I've always had, a chance to go for Thunder Fury, but I just wasn't proud, and obviously I don't need to be proud. I don't deserve proud all the time. I know my place, I know my lane, I get it. But when it came to the Ashbringer, I really wanted this thing, and it was the iconic weapon to have. It is the weapon to have. It is the paladin weapon, and I had to go for it. And it cost a lot of money, so, shout out to all those late fishing nights, farming all the meats. The Fishbringer is something that the chat is calling me now, so much love to you instead of the Ashbringer. You're damn right, selling Yellowtail to buy an Ashbringer and Firefin Snappers and the Darklaw Lobsters way before then to make all that money, it really counted, and also tons of the chilies that we farmed and everything else. It worked out for the most part, but yeah, this is like, honestly, one of the most iconic, badass quest lines I think I've ever done in World of Warcraft. And as a Season of Discovery enjoyer, I know everything's not perfect. You take what you can, right? You see something that they do, you like it. You see something they don't do, you don't like it. And, things happen. Not everything is perfect in SOD. Things are flawed. There is troubles. But I think in a way, that's what makes it beautiful, is that we have these problems that we can discuss and have the opportunity to fix and rectify these issues in a way where we can pursue the game in a better place, that we can have these conversations in forum posts and talk about it in the comments section and have our discussions. Some people like to have arguments, some people like to have, actual genuine responses. That's the World of Warcraft for, the community for you. You're going to get the best of both worlds, whether it's like completely positive and sane and completely toxic and insane, right? And honestly, and also real quick, shout out to all the amigos that, along the way, whether it was the Twitch viewers, whether it was the guild mates, whether it was just the people I played the game with, the people I know, the people who got me back into the game and wanted me to stay involved with Season of Discovery. Without you guys, I wouldn't still even be doing World of Warcraft content to begin with if you didn't enjoy it in the first place and came by the streams and had a blast, And I'm truthfully honored to just be in the position I am in. And like I said, this questline was so sick, and I really do hope in the future we get to see more and more classes really get more badass quest lines like this, so it feels like their class fantasy is really fulfilling that RP, that desire to be any class you want and go for such badass, armor or weapons for a potential Classic Plus in the future, or wherever version of WoW we're ever fucking going, At the end of the day, it's just something that I would love to see from more and more of the gamers that play World of Warcraft, because honestly, that's the one thing in SOD that I did love the most, is that they make you feel, especially with your class, and not every class feels this, right? I know there are issues with class balance and stuff like that, but man, I feel the fantasy of the class that I am playing, especially with the quest lines that we get, right, as a paladin. And I know other quest lines for other classes, they get, the fantasy that they are playing. And maybe it's not perfect, right? And for others, they wish there was more, actual questing for them to do, new quests that fulfilled that, role of the fantasy. Maybe if you're like, a shaman rogue or a hunter, druid, whatever, like it doesn't matter what class you are. I just think at the end of the day, more stuff like this and design choices is a good thing for the future as we continue playing World of Warcraft, because I think more people want to feel that class fantasy for them, that being, a druid matters, being a shaman matters, a rogue matters, a hunter matters. You get what I'm saying, And that's like, especially like as a paladin with the Ashbringer, and I know only the warrior and the hunter class can get it as well. I would love to see a lot of other classes get to keep experiencing such things like this, like I felt over the weekend, because I have not felt any rush and high in Season of Discovery, I would say, in quite a long time, until really this moment, which really sealed the deal for me, because this phase in particular, when it comes to something of this magnitude of getting such an iconic weapon, really just set in for me. And obviously I'm extremely blessed to even be here. It wouldn't happen without all the people in the guild and the people along the way helping your boy out to even acquire these things, right? And honestly, like, you know, farming all the gold that I did to buy a lot of the materials, like these things are getting expensive now as well in the auction house. I'm hearing huge emeralds going for like 300 gold, and I bought them when they were like 102. Honestly, the quest line itself was just so sick. Hyjal is something that was so cool to see, and the fact that we're in a zone that's in Azeroth, that's in a classic version of WoW, like Season of Discovery. I know it's seasonal, but it's still based off of a classic version, right? And to see Hyjal here, and we're not going to any other place, we're not going to, you know, Outland, we're not going to Northrend, we're not going to Timeless Isle, we're staying in Season of Discovery, right? Like, we are macking here, and this is what I love to see, is more growth for, you know, what idea comes next after WoW, by going to zones that are, you know, unused, weren't decided to be picked up in the original game, and now we're seeing that in Season of Discovery via a quest line only. But man, this zone itself was sick, and they have like a big guardian tree that's like blocking the way that you can't get past, like kind of hinting towards there might be some other content past it. I just love the opportunity of just even being in this new zone. For me, I was like completely blown away, even with the Ashbringer questline, you know, having to come here, you know, basically meld it within the fire and then, you know, cleanse it within the lake of the Hyjal waters. I mean, man, what a badass, you know, quest. And I got to give a shout out, honestly, to Agrin, because I do think Agrin hand wrote this quest, or he had his biggest involvement of this quest in particular. So, amigo, really kudos to you for doing stuff like this, because this was completely incredible, and I would love to see this for more and more classes in Season of Discovery, so they can feel like their class fantasy is always coming fulfilled as well. Because man, did it feel good for, you know, warriors, hunters, and paladins doing this quest line. It's completely badass. As we're going through Hyjal, we, you know, head to the lake, we cleanse this bad boy up, and this leads us to the point where now we have to go to Scarlet Monastery. And this is something that, like, I remember back in the day seeing this, of like just talks of, like, you know, Scarlet Monastery, and how you walk in there with the corrupted Ashbringer and they bend the knee, and then they hint towards, you know, TBC in the Outland and all this like cool stuff with Fairbanks, right? And to have the opportunity to reenact that, but I'm the one who's doing it this time. I saw it for myself, you know. It's like I kind of like envisioned this moment happening, and it came to life. And honestly, I had no words. You know, I couldn't believe that we were actually doing this, you know, and we have the opportunity to do this on stream with the amigos and the guild, and just seeing people just be involved was honestly my favorite experience about World of Warcraft. And I think that's what WoW is all about, is just having these moments, you know. Sometimes there's too many points where we just, you know, we take things so serious, but we forget that there's a video game in front of us, you know, guys. And this is what it's all about. It's just the moments, the laughs, the memes, the epic, you know, times that we get to have the opportunity to even have that pleasure of having, is something that I'll never forget. I'll never ever forget this moment. And shout out to OGB as well. You know, this son of a gun has the I think he has the full 6-piece, and he has the Ashbringer. And you know what, OG, I'll pack you up. I swear I said what I said. But shout out to OGB. He's packed my ass up plenty of times before. Much love to him. But it was just an honor to to the people that, you know, that just came through for this exact moment, and I get to do it, you know, like more of me just nerding out right now. You know, I'm just going through the cathedral. I finally get to live the RP moment. I finally get to pursue something even after this moment, right? Because this moment was something that was only limited. There was nothing really after. You know, Mograine basically, you know, takes his revenge to his son. We get to finally see what happens, you know. But I think that's what carries World of Warcraft a lot of the old funny things that we saw back in the day, the old, you know, machinima World of Warcraft things, the old YouTube days as well. I mean, man, like, these are funny, epic moments from any old creators that ever done meme-based content for YouTube in the early 2000 days. Like, this is, for me, is like, I'm getting that, like, feeling. I'm getting that sense, like, that nostalgia is hitting, and it's coming in as a rush, you know? I just can't wait for what is in store for the future if they're doing things like this. And now finally, you know, we get to the ending of the Ashbringer questline, and man, dude, man, oh man, this fight was insane. I'm not gonna lie, this fight was kind of harder than the raid itself, but I would say before the raid nerfs, the raid is definitely harder. But it took me a couple minutes to get this down, and people were saying, you know, bring world buffs, use these world buffs. You know what I got to say to that? Fuck those world buffs. We played Elden Ring, bro. We ain't no bitch. We beat Elden Ring, all right? And we beat Elden Ring like 3 times, all right? You could check the Steam achievements. I'll pack your ass up. This is a badass game, all right? I'm having a fun time with this, you know, little quest line, this little challenge that we're going through, and I know I could beat his ass. I don't need the world buffs. I'm switching gear. I'm trying different things. I thought the PvP gear would work out because, you know, it's more stam heavy, but I guess that's just my classic brain thinking right now. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back to the PvE gear, because people are telling me, yo, listen, start using Holy Wrath with the 6-piece undead from Nax, and it's just going to break this fight. And boy, oh boy, that it kind of did. So the Holy Wrath is kind of busted because it interrupts his big shadow ability, which causes a lot of damage. And you can Hodge him as well, which is really nice, but you can't heal much. So you really had to time everything between the ads blowing up and then also stunning him at the same time, while maintaining the little yellow orbs on the ground to get your health and mana all the way back up, and just keep doing it and rinse and repeat. It's a longer fight, but it will like eventually go down. But if you want to use world buffs to make it quicker, by all means, use world buffs, nuke them down if you wish to. I decided to challenge myself. That's just me. I deserve a title, Agrin. All right, I deserve a title. The Ashbringer of the server. No, I'm playing. Much love to you. However, though, yeah, this was a amazing time. I gotta say, I'm very grateful for, you know, the opportunity to be in the position I'm in, and this is an epic moment right here. I'm just gonna stop talking and let you guys enjoy and feel the feels.
From Darian, who once held the Ashbringer, to many of those before him. The spirit before flickers in and out of existence. It doesn't have much time left. Continue. It is done. For now I could feel this form beginning to fade. Thank you, Paladin. The blade remains corrupted, but perhaps there was another one who can! In the meantime, keep safe. Before I fade it completely, one small glimmer of light remains that I can give. As the echo fades away, the echo, you could feel it channeling the last ounce of itself into the Ashbringer. The darkness remains, but there is something else there now. Something that wasn't there before. Boys! We did it! Holy shit! Holy shit! Season of Discovery is still alive, motherfucker! Don't tell him anything! From the first phase we made a paladin, to the last phase we made a paladin. We locked it in. We held true. They thought we were gone, but we showed them, chat. We showed them he how Shu who in speaking to remains locked in for the one times. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, chat. GG's, bro.
Anyways, that is the video, amigos. I know I ranted a lot, you know, my bad. I'm just very, you know, I guess, giggly. I'm very excited and happy for the most part. This has been the most exciting time I've ever had in World of Warcraft, and it's a moment I think I'll never forget in my life, because I've never had such an awesome, epic moment ever happen for me in WoW, and I finally received my moment, and I won't trade that for the world, I will say. So, much love to you, amigos. Thank you for joining me ever since Phase 1 of Season of Discovery to all the way to Phase 8, and all the funny times and, you know, good moments along the way. And there's many more videos to come, so lock on in. We'll go from there, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Yeah. Sure. Shout out to the Twitch. Come over there at the club. The party's lit. Settle down. Real quick, I just heard warriors are parsing higher than paladins. We got a problem.